Hello, I'm Walter Liedtke, Curator of European Paintings at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and we're talking about the exhibition, Vermeer's masterpiece, The Milkmaid, which will be on view at the Metropolitan Museum from September 10 through November 29, 2009. If you walk up to any person in the Netherlands and say, even in English, the Milkmaid, or in Dutch, Melkmeisje, they will immediately think of this image, this picture by Vermeer. The Milkmaid is a fairly early work by Vermeer, and it should be said right away that there's only 36 paintings by Vermeer, and in the Metropolitan Museum, we're blessed to have 5 of them, more than any other institution. We have a painting that probably immediately precedes it, and that's a Maid Asleep of about 1656 or 7. And that is probably Vermeer's first painting of the subject that's so typical for him, a young, attractive woman in a private domestic interior. Both pictures represent domestic servants, and both of them were acquired by a single patron who bought about half of everything that Vermeer did in the span of some 20 years. His name was Peter van Rauven. He was a minor nobleman. The Milkmaid looks like, and is, a earthy young woman who is pouring milk from a pitcher into a bowl on a table, and on the table is an extraordinary amount of bread. So the woman's doing something quite practical, but she is smiling subtly. And then to the lower right of this figure, we see a row of tiles at the baseboard of the rear wall behind her. And right next to her is this figure of Cupid with his bow held out in front of him. And to the other side of a foot warmer on the floor is the image of a standing man with a walking stick and what appears to be a backpack. And then there's this third blue and white tile. So there's this juxtaposition of a milkmaid, a Cupid, and the figure of a wandering man, it seems. And between them, the foot warmer, which consists of a pot of hot coals shoved into a wooden box that's perforated on the top so you can rest your feet on it. And this was a very common symbol of amorous feelings in women. There are many Dutch paintings of amorous subjects in which a foot warmer occurs. And all of that suggests that romance is in the air for the Milkmaid. Now, when you look at the painting by Vermeer, he's really approaching young ladies in romantic situations with a lot of thought for how they feel about it and how their expressions and body languages are affected by that. It's interesting that a painting that was made for a very sophisticated private collector, treating a common theme but in an unusual and very sophisticated way, is now such a popular work, probably the single most famous painting in the Netherlands after The Night Watch by Rembrandt.